Hello, my dear Pisces. We'll be working with the Royal Fez Moroccan deck today, working on situationship reading for 3 iterations, 3 portals in which your love life will be excavated. We'll be going deep and searching 3 iterations or 3 portals in which you can find resonance to create an instrumental approach towards possibilities in creating for yourself good situationships. Okay? Cards are ready. You have taken. Pardon. Give me a second. Oh Lord. So, my dear Pisces, iteration number 1, you have taken a stance in order to create proper boundaries when it comes to matters of the heart. Something about what you see fit, what you see as proper within the realm and the design of your heart space has been clearly marked, and you have made it clear to others that this place is sacred to you in a certain way. Because of this, because of drawing boundaries, here, there is something that is occurring, a great transformation that has to do with the language of love. There's essentially something that you've missed. You've been able to use your precognition and your awareness in order to avoid catastrophe in a certain way. There's something very profound about this tower, and that you are seeing it from a distance. There's a distance between you and the people who are falling out here. Okay? Which is a good thing. But before we get to the tower, there's something about you drawing boundaries. You had to give to a number of parties, and no longer are you doing this. No longer. And there's something about your empowerment, something about perhaps someone you're dealing with, where there is a lack of stability or an instability in the way they behave. Perhaps they behave in absurd ways. They have very high demands that are not necessary in a way. And this has left you feeling generally out of cahoots with them. You are no longer sort of vying for them in a certain way. You're no longer searching for their to give your energy to them. Perhaps they've crossed over bounds, or perhaps they've been asking for the wrong things, or perhaps they've invaded your emotional space in a certain way where the grounding was too faulty, and therefore some sort of tower situation may have occurred between you and this person. There's also something very Venusian about this. Something with Venus and Scorpio, in which there was a polarity and there was a push. There was a push and there was too much push. Therefore, it led to you looking elsewhere. This is a big possibility, as well as this person, their inner child. Something about it was essentially filled or riddled with a type of mistruth, and this mistruth led to a type of disempowerment on their end. Um, Basically, a loss of passion, or perhaps passions that were not being able to be controlled, and therefore it scared them, or something of the like. They they were scared by the fire that they had for you, and this led to a type of manipulation, a mind game that, unfortunately, I think they cut themselves out in a certain situation, or perhaps there was a type of manipulation and it backfired, and then some sort of triangle fell, some sort of relationship fell between people who were once working with you or them. And yeah, there was definitely a teamwork situation here that you're still thinking of, and there's still some sort of connection or a foundation that you're still thinking of that has to do with you as a divine pair. Both of you, the divine pair here, I'll show you. You're both coming up, the Queen of Rods as well as the King of Rods, in the reverse, which indicates to me uncontrolled passions, uncontrolled energies of the heart, an imbalance on both ends, and a disempowerment, ironically, because of an overwhelm that comes in the shape, once again, of the Tower in reverse. So these people, these kings and queens, are falling out, and they're losing their power in a certain way with the Tower of Power. There's also here's someone who's very manipulative. Okay, we have here the Magician as well as the Knight of Swords in reverse. And it talks to me about language that is enveloped in its utterance, was a form of magic, okay? Words that become magic, and these words were actually tinged with a black or shadow aspect that came out in the Five of Swords as something very manipulative, and this puts you into Hanged Man mode, okay? This puts you into a mode of esoteric divination. You've had to look for signs from the universe in order to find some sort of reason for all of this. As well as here, you're almost near the ending of some sort of great rest and relaxation with the Four of Swords. However, it's in reverse, so there's still something very restless about this. It's because a fear is being induced and you're not listening to your intuition. Even though you've gone into Hangman mode, there's still some sort of secret that it is written in the stars, as well as in the book of life. The High Priestess is holding back, and I cannot crack her secret right now. However, there might be something about the Mercury retrograde impending, and some sort of revisitation of something left in the past. And this is going to inevitably lead to a closing of a cycle. After the revisitation comes the end, and the beginning, the Alpha and the Omega. The High Priestess shines, as well as a need to look over something from the past, as well as to see how you can ground yourself in a type of knowing, a knowing that has been missing about a great commitment that has not reached the level of hard work that you have put into it, some sort of missing harvest. But don't worry, there is generally higher consciousness coming to you in the month of November, but it is not through a new beginning. Higher consciousness comes within yourself, and you have to look within yourself to find that others are not willing to offer you a great deal of commitment because they are stagnant and they are very, very fixed. This fixity carries on with emotional potential that lies in you and is being explored through a new drive, a drive that moves forward and ignores any sort of dark aspects of the mind, as well as the ability to take a new journey towards something great in which you may look over or revisit some sort of gift from the heavens when it comes to emotional fulfillment. Some sort of past thing may be coming back into the present. Okay? That portal is closed. Pisces. Portal number 2 will be opening soon. I have to clear the energy of the cards. Okay. Portal number 2 is open. There is a sense of victory, and people see you generally in a type of stance of achievement. This is because you have had a great burden, and your heart is burning in a certain way, but is almost overloaded with its lack of energy. There seems to be a burnout here with the 10 of Rods in reverse. This burnout has to do with also equally the Ace of Rods in reverse, a lack of a beginning. So there's no new beginning because there's an end that needs to occur. Some sort of thing, a tribulation, you had to escape in order to find something, and through the journey work you found great peace. However, there's something about your escape that you aren't trusting, some sort of missing aspect. There's something about fulfillment here that is not entirely reached. It is because there's still some purging to occur. Some sort of entanglement from the past in your love life has been very much karmic, and there's still a need to get rid of a cycle with this person. This person has been making a choice towards you. In the month of November, they will make a choice in order to go through with something with you that was left up in the past, okay? Revisiting old emotional treasure troves. This will lead to happiness. I'm not sure how long it will be. It might be momentary, because your intuition was not listened to or is not being listened to. Something about logic over any sort of emotion has backfired, and this mode of operation has backfired in a certain way, and it's because your intuition was off. And there's also a need for cosmic love here, and transformation through love, through a higher form, through a higher purpose. However, it is being held back in a certain way, or perhaps it is missing, or perhaps it is hidden, and you have to pay attention to the effects of your emotional world, dear Pisces. You seem to be juggling between two new things, two new or old things. I guess time doesn't matter here, there's infinity, but there's definitely a commitment or two that you are trying to balance out. One of them makes you profoundly happy. One of them does, because it's offered you a vision of teamwork as well as camaraderie. However, there's something else that you're thinking about, something from the past in which you want to revisit and perhaps exact a type of giving to this person, a type of giving that is a bit more focused. However, perhaps you need to make a choice, but the choice, you're still sort of weighing things out, and it's difficult because there has to be a great transformation, and you know people are going to suffer some sort of ego death here, okay? Romance will be offered to you in a very subtle and secret way, and you have to be careful because it is also laced with a type of mistruth or misgiving. What this has to do with is someone actually had to retreat and to find themselves and to find esoterically the emotional wealth as well as the emotional well-being they so deserve. However, this person has lost control of their passions, and because of this, they're moving over and crossing over boundaries, and they will exact some type of sexual or lovely affair with you, in which they will wrestle with you and your demons, and perhaps you with theirs, and there will be a lot of chemistry between you two. However, it will not be a proper beginning that you so seek in order for commitment to be completely sort of resolved here. We have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is in reverse. Therefore, there is no truthful sort of resolve when it comes to the actual stability of the situation. The Queen of Pentacles is generous, and she does offer and support and nurture the connection. However, the King makes the choices, and unfortunately, the choices are of not the highest ethical sort of coloration. Okay, there will be romance in the month of November. This romance will bring you into victory, as I've said, and it will also, furthermore, bring you into truth, standing in your higher truth, and there might be a detached aspect to this romance. At the same time, I think you may be looking away, or perhaps you're not willing to give the cup of love. Perhaps it may be. However, there's something about the emotions inside of you that are welling up, and there's a great amount of potential force there. But I think this is geared towards more healing, as well as I think it is mandated that you look into the nature of your life and to find the orthodoxy in it, or perhaps the unorthodoxy, in which you can avoid, like Pisces number 1, Tower moments, okay? And get to that healing, the healing that has been missing. An offer will be made to you from the past, and I don't know if you'll accept it. However, you will revisit this offer, like with the Eight of Cups, and return to the scene of the crime to see what kind of emotional wealth is really there, okay? There is the potential for you to run into soulmate energy, or perhaps to become very nostalgic in the month of November. And be careful with Mercury retrograde, because what you think of will not be conveyed properly in terms of communication, especially sexual communication. However, you will be able to manifest by will alone, okay? Remember, take this reading as you will. Take it as you will. Take what you will. Take what you will and leave the rest. Take whatever resonates and create instrumentation. This is entertainment. Iteration number 3 for Pisces. Closing off the other portal now and preparing the third portal. Clearing the energy of the cards now. Pisces number 3, iteration number 3. Pisces, you are split, or perhaps there is an option you need to make. You are looking forward towards manifesting and bringing in materially a proper third dimensional relationship in which there is a higher power looking over you, and it is well known that you are coming into power when it comes to a type of deep connection, okay? A higher level of commitment here with the Hierophant. However, you've been generally enjoying and relishing in your own individuality, and it seems that any messages of love that you are shoot out are essentially signs, and you are manifesting signs and sending them to potential others, okay? Signs. These signs are beautiful because they're related to healing and healing others and healing humanity somehow. The general sort of malaise, the general sort of feeling of heartbreak is here when it comes to unfinished business, okay? Some sort of unfinished business. But before we go on that path, there's something here very important, and it has to do with a higher form of commitment. Here, with the Hierophant, there is an option for you to come into power and to officiate some sort of proper commitment, okay? This comes after you have avoided sometime in the past, perhaps during eclipse season, a great tower moment in which catastrophe was on the cards and you knew when to escape in order to avoid it, okay? This has to do with also great love. We have the Two of Cups in the upright, which is, it indicates to me at least, soulmate energy, a divine connection, a chakra fusing through the Kundalini energy and the union of the highest form. Here it's mandated and watched over by the heavens. There's also a transgression, a transcendence over fear, conquering your fears, something about the language of love here, and coming into your truth here. But there's something about your passions that is telling you otherwise, and it seems like you're waiting for something else, or perhaps looking for options when it comes to what makes you feel fulfilled in terms of true soulmate energy. Perhaps you've been looking within in order to find, through confusion, why someone was left out, and now that they're sort of no longer left out, there's something about the way they behave, and this person is essentially trapped in the prison of their mind and in conflict with the world around them. They're trying to find a place of home, and you are not extending, you're not extending, or perhaps they're not extending the true nature of the heart's desire here, and it's being repressed. However, divine timing is coming into play, and there will be a karmic enactment or a karmic sort of dramaturgy behind all of this when it comes to a deep and profound spiritual connection that brings nostalgia to your eye, and something about it. This came up for the previous portal as well, and there's also here, as well as with the previous iteration, some sort of revisitation of lost emotional content, okay? And you are coming into a higher state of consciousness. Children will come into play very well for you for the next month, as well as creativity, as well as expansion of the higher consciousness, which is great because you have left something from the past in order to find peace at one point. It had to do with a divine pairing here. Both the King of Rods and the Queen of Rods in reverse from earlier. There is something about the nature of your heart that is certainly repressed, and you want to believe in idealistically and move forward with your grand design quixotically, and it's very important for you, but something's holding you back, and you want to revisit something from the past, some sort of betrayal that you got over, and now you're realizing that someone was manipulating in a certain way a soul contract into being, and perhaps they were essentially working entirely within their own free will in order to manifest something, some sort of great intuitive truth that has to do with a great deal of chemistry between you and this person, okay? But I think you're moving away from this in order to find deeper truth, and you're still getting over heartache, and something about it doesn't ring well with you. You want this cycle to close because you're done with manipulators and cheaters and thieves, and people who do not offer you proper amounts of emotional availability. Once again, emotional unavailability is here. And there's a secret truth about a lack of justice here, okay? About liars, okay? You're getting a lot of negative sword energy. That's all three court cards of the higher, the page, the knight, as well as the king, as well as, no. Yeah. So there's emotional. Someone's being emotionally unintelligent here. They're being emotionally unintelligent. They're not standing in their truth, and I think you're going to be moving on without them, and holding on to your energy in order to find some sort of way out of fear when it comes to what you've been thinking makes you fulfilled. Victory is coming though, as well as an option, a clear option in love. Okay, that portal is closed. And that's the last portal. So once again, this is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I really do appreciate it. Please take what you will, and this is purely entertainment. However, if you can find resonance, find something to make a good instrument out of yourself, okay? My dear Pisces, once again, enjoy your November. Ciao.